We expect the president to come out at any moment. Here he comes.
Donald Trump's first visit to the upstate as president.
The governor expected to be there to say hello. He's given the thumbs up to the people in South Carolina and to those who are gathered there on the tarmac, those lucky ones who were invited to be there for this.
I believe there's the governor right there.
We should let you know as we watch the governor and the president greeting each other and saying their hellos. Interstate 85 is shut down at this point. We can tell from looking at some of the traffic cameras that the interstate has been cleared, getting ready for the motorcade to travel this way toward Greenville. So it's southbound only that's impacted. And again, this would be from the airport on into Greenville, folks. So let people know. They probably know already, but there's going to be a little bit of a traffic mess for a little while until the president gets to his destination. They'll open things back up again, and then they will clear it once again for his return, which is expected sometime maybe around 8 o'clock tonight.
You may have noticed Lindsey Graham in and out of the picture there. After the president came down first, then there was a larger group of folks who came down after him. Lindsey Graham was part of that group, and it looks like the senator has gone off, would have been screened right to you there to get to the car that will carry him as part of this entourage to the engagement tonight.
We really have a good look at the president's profile right there in that back seat as we get ready to watch this motorcade get moving. They will, of course, be hitting the interstate and headed toward Verde and the Embassy Suites, where our Gordon Dill is standing by. That is, of course, the destination for the fundraising event that starts at 6:30. So they'll have meet and greet time and all of that to get over there. They'll have a little bit of travel time as well, but you can see the motorcade beginning to move.
There will be protesters tonight, but the protesters won't be anywhere near where the president is going to speak. Falls Park is nowhere near where he's going to be speaking, so they're a good distance away, but there will be protests that are being organized there in the Falls Park area. He just won't see them.
We're seeing quite a police presence here, too, definitely keeping the crowd that is gathered at Falls Park behind our 7 on Main studio here safe and secure. But you can see the motorcade getting ready to leave the airport. They'll be hitting Interstate 85, headed toward Greenville. And again, we've mentioned the interstate southbound from the airport on over into Greenville is shut down right now, completely clear, so that the motorcade can travel unimpeded and without any dangers or issues.
And the president's visit to the upstate expected to last until right around 8 o'clock or so tonight. His official schedule has him departing to head back to Washington at 8:10 this evening. So his time in the upstate, roughly 2.5 hours or so, counting the time that he will be at Governor Henry McMaster's fundraising event in Greenville.
And so you can see them making the way around. You can start to get the sense of the entourage that's involved. You have multiple law enforcement vehicles, a couple of limos and SUVs involved, and probably more to come, more to join this on its way to Greenville. They're getting ready to drive past this crowd that has assembled. We mentioned there was a lucky few that have been allowed on the tarmac, and these folks are going to get an up-close and personal look at this motorcade and a quick peek at the president as he makes his way into Greenville. Again, his first visit to the upstate as president.
The upstate was good to Donald Trump in his bid for the office of president, and looks like he is going to, in the way that the president can, say thank you to this crowd for this time that he's going to swing by in the presidential limousine.
Looks like he's going to get out here and say hello, perhaps. That would make some people on the tarmac pretty happy, I bet.
It's a nice surprise for them, wouldn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Yep, here he comes.
Let's listen in. President working the crowd in the upstate at GSP International Airport.
It is definitely something he'd like to do on the campaign trail. And, you know, you've heard analysis that has repeatedly said that he really enjoys these moments when he's had these various rallies and opportunities to get out and see real people, the American people who elected him. He really likes that, from what the insiders are saying. This is something that sort of energizes him and sort of reaffirms his reason for doing what he did.
Amy, one of the things that I've seen change in my career, and I'm sure you've noticed it as well, is how wonderful it is to have these cell phone cameras to capture moments like this. It was so much more difficult to have our Brownie Instamatics and our Polaroids and things of that nature back in the older times. Now you can really capture the moment. You can get video, you can get snapshots, you can do, somebody may try to do a selfie. Who knows? It may happen here before.
Oh, hey, they're probably all doing, they're probably half of them are live streaming the whole thing themselves to all their network of friends and family that might be watching at home. It is a different time, Tom, but everybody does want a picture. And the president has been one to take a selfie or two, so you never know.
Well, I'll have to confess, if I was there, I'd be trying to get one too.
Yeah, I think everybody would. It's not so often that the president comes to your town, and certainly that you would be the person on that tarmac getting that up close and personal with President Donald Trump.
Absolutely.
You can see him surrounded by all the Secret Service. They're keeping an eye on the crowd, making sure everybody behaves, but looks like there's a lot of happy faces there. People, I don't think these folks were expecting necessarily to get this much attention.
Within just moments, he will get back into his presidential limousine and begin the trek over to Embassy Suites for the McMaster fundraising event that has brought him to the upstate.
Now, keep in mind that people who are not smiling right now are all those who are sitting waiting to get back on Interstate 85. They're probably growing a little impatient as they wait for their chance to do their traveling, and hopefully people are finding another way around the interstate right now. Southbound 85 is shut down in anticipation of this motorcade getting moving, leaving GSP, headed to the Embassy Suites there at Verde, where our Gordon Dill is going to be bringing you continuing coverage as we continue to follow the president's first visit to the upstate since he was elected.
Yeah, if you have friends or family who would normally be traveling the interstate around this time or in the next half hour or so, you might want to give them a buzz, let them know what's going on in case they're not aware already, because it is going to change things, and rightfully so. It's a high security event, and there's a lot of territory there that needs to be sealed off, needs to be protected for the president's protection.
Well, Tom, you were saying that people are taking pictures there. I'm sitting here taking pictures of our TV screen so I can post some of these moments to social media for our audience online. We, of course, are bringing you this kind of coverage not only on air, but you can also tell your friends to check out the 7 News app and WSPA.com, where you can be streaming our broadcasts. We are continuing our coverage on all of our platforms. Because this is a big deal when the president comes to the upstate. Yeah,
I've been doing the same thing, Amy. It's a rare opportunity. and we use this phrase very often. These days, everyone is a reporter. And that's the situation, especially when a president is in town, as we have this evening here in the upstate.
Yeah, if anybody knows anybody on the tarmac getting those personal moments with the president, please reach out to us and let us know. We'd love to connect with them and meet them. Our Katie Solt is actually right there outside the airport where the reporters are being allowed. She's a little bit further away than this, but she is, of course, there and would love to talk to some of the folks who are getting this opportunity to interact with the President of the United States.
Of course, we're not able to hear what the president is saying, but just by lip reading, I can see a lot of thank yous. Thank you very much.
Yep. And a lot of thumbs up. I've seen a bunch of thumbs up. Lots of waving and thumbs up. I think he's getting ready to go. Looks like he's trying to kind of break away. He's got a whole crowd, of course, at the event waiting. And as our Gordon Dill was telling us, there are people lined up along the way, along the motorcade route, that are ready to wave to the president as well. And say their hellos, see that motorcade up close and personal. If they were smart enough to get there early enough to be sweeped and cleared by the Secret Service so they could be there. Now, of course, it's going to be pretty much impossible if you're trying to get over to these events. Pretty much the Secret Service has got everything locked down at this point as they anticipate the president moving. And it looks like he's getting ready to say goodbye and get back in his motorcade.
Gosh, you just couldn't ask for a better weather day than we've got for the president here. A great day for these folks to all be outside and kind of taking in this moment of the commander-in-chief of the nation being in the upstate for this event for Henry McMaster this evening. But there is business to be done, and now he's going to be back into the limousine and getting ready to head out to begin the route, the procession to Embassy Suites and get in place for the fundraiser that is to begin less than an hour from now there at the Embassy Suites.
And they're getting ready to move those cars out. And again, Interstate 85 from the airport southbound to Greenville is shut down right now for this motorcade to move through uninhibited, without any other traffic. I mean, have you ever seen the interstate shut down, folks? It's quite a sight to see one of our major roadways completely empty for now what? It's been about 20 minutes or so, maybe a little longer than that, as we anticipate this motorcade moving out onto Interstate 85, leaving the airport and heading to Greenville.